Jessica, let's take a look at your paper. Emily, format first. This looks good. Everything over here looks good. Your title isn't the most tremendously creative thing in the world, but tremendous, never mind. But it's okay. Probably could use a little bit of punching up. Now, the reason why I think it actually isn't creative is I don't think you really start very creatively right off the gate either. You start with a quote, which is actually a really good quote, but I would love to see another sentence here kind of talking about this quote and setting up the next quote. Because basically all you do is jump right into the topic. And that's what happens to Macbeth during the play, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. So I'd love to see I have another sentence in here that would kind of bridge that gap a little bit better. Now, post-traumatic stress disorder, as soon as you write it the first time out, in parentheses put PTSD, and then that's commonly how you would do with an acronym, so we know from then on out what it is. Good job citing your source down there, and up here too. That works really well. Your thesis statement, instill him a deep paranoia of the world around him, which is good. I just want to make sure that when we get to the body paragraphs that you're actually diving into that deeper. So as we move throughout there, let's double check on that to make sure we're on the right track. Other than that, technically everything that besides maybe extending this, everything is in here that needs to be in here. So that's good for your first sentence here. All right. Macbeth was controlled by his emotion, whether it was his guilt or his anger. So not a bad topic sentence. You do a really good job of adding in both citations from the symptom as well as the play. You don't need any space in between here, so make sure you fix that. Everything is cited correctly, so that's good. There's one comma error. You don't need that comma there. But other than that, it's actually a really nice flow here, Jessica. You wrap in the thesis a little bit, although you're not doing much more than just saying, because of this, he got paranoia. When the time came to test their loyalty to him, they fled to join Malcolm's forces, so that's more plot. They left him completely unguarded and alone in the castle until his tragic demise. Again, are you really building on this paranoia thing or just restating it? You might want to think about that as you move forward. Now, your actual transitional statement is right here. I would almost move this sentence up, and then this sentence becomes your first sentence of the next one. This is still not maybe the most strongest transition here as far as making sure you bridge these two symptoms, because this is the one that really bridges it well. But I don't know. There's just love to see a little bit stronger transitional phrase there at the end to move you into the next paragraph before you get into the next one. All right. Again, talk about topic sentence. Make sure your topic sentence is really strong. You do a great job of bringing in outside sources. The only problem I have with this is order. You talk about Banquo first before you come back to talk about Duncan. I feel like you should flip-flop that and talk about Duncan first to make it more chronological. And just like the previous paragraph, like your connection to the thesis is just basically restating it. This resulted in greater suspicion being put on him by Macduff and the other things of Scotland. His paranoia only grew as he grew more aware of those around him and guarded about his own safety. So I think that's got to be touched on a little bit more. And you even end this sentence by talking about being alone in the castle until his tragic demise. So should this paragraph be first before you get into this one where he's dead by the end of the paragraph? Something to think about for organization. I still, this is probably the closest to your topic sentence, so I still feel like you need a stronger topic sentence, one that's more encompassing of a theme, something like that. Again, really good use of outside sources in here, but also, again, chronological problems, because you're going to talk about Banquo first before you come back and talk about the witch's first prophecies. You got a comma that doesn't need to be needed there. So work on that. And again, stronger connection to the thesis. I don't think you have a very strong connection yet to that thesis in this paragraph, so you got to figure out ways to make that connection stronger. All right, broken record time. Still need a stronger topic sentence. Really good use of outside sources. Still need stronger connection to the thesis statement. Here's a quick little place where you can improve. These thoughts gave him a strong fear. Like, I'm okay with short, choppy sentences sometime, but that's almost like very much a throwaway sentence that doesn't add anything to the paper. Things like that, you need to really think long and hard about, Jessica, about really punching up somehow. So think of a way that you can make that a little bit better. But I mean, everything organizationally is there. We just got to punch it up a little better and really add more to it. All right, so no comment here. You don't need one there. You go through and repeat your main points, which is good. Now, I would argue that this is weak because you're just basically repeating a line from the very first one. I would maybe highlight the massive repercussion part. What do you think that means in Macbeth's case? How does that affect him? How does that relate to him? Whatever. I just think that you could be better, do better there. Okay. Works cited page. Everything looks good here. So good job with that. Yeah, everything looks good. Okay. All right, Jessica. Again, we need to punch up some of this language and sentence structure. Really add more to connecting the thesis. But really, other than that, it's a really good paper. And hopefully we'll see a rewrite out of you to make it even better.